Greetings, subscribers! As many of you know, the 1984 film The Karate Kid is probably my #1 favorite movie of all time. This movie includes a lot about bonsai trees, which I know very little about. I heard that a man in Brooklyn, New York has been making a business of selling bonsai trees for over 45 years, and this man also happens to be a big fan of Karate Kid movies. I asked if he'd be willing to do an interview for my YouTube channel, and he said yes. So I took the F train over to his garden. Side note, I passed by this stop of 18th Avenue, which was briefly seen in the recent Joker movie. Anyway, I kept going on the train until I got to an area known as Gravesend. Now, if you look around under these train tracks, this will look like just an ordinary house, but what's on the other side of the gate may surprise you.
My name is Paul Graviano. I'm the owner of Bonsai of Brooklyn. I established the company in 1976. I actually got into the hobby in 1964.
Can you tell me any trivia about bonsai trees in Karate Kid movies?
Yeah, well, in the first off, they had very good consultants. There's a scene in the first movie where Daniel takes a beating from the bullies. Mr. Miyagi brings him into his shed. He has him work on a bonsai tree. Daniel doesn't know what to do, so he tells Daniel, close eye, make picture of tree, open eye, make tree look like picture. That's, other than the broken English, that's perfect advice. What you do with bonsai is you take a piece of raw material and you trim and shape and wire it and put it in a pot and then landscape the surface, and the end result should look like a miniature tree growing in the ground. It should look like a large tree that you're looking at from a block away. When you accomplish that, you've accomplished your goal. There was also a scene in the third movie where it led me to believe that possibly some consultant for the movie had been in my store. As you may see in the background, the F train runs right down the block, and my store was right on the other side of the street here of McDonald Avenue. And during the warm weather, when the door, here comes the train now, when the train would come by, I would go like this to the customer so they would stop talking. I'll wait for the train. Right on cue. And here comes the northbound, that's on the other side. We'll give that a second to clear. I guess we're giving you some editing to do. In the movie, Daniel is showing Mr. Miyagi the store, the new store that he wants to set up. And in that scene, a train, a freight train, goes by, and they hold up a hand and you know, to stop talking, and it seems like a pretty big coincidence. I would think that somebody might have been in my store doing background before the movie was made, and maybe got the idea that that would be a nice thing. Otherwise, really big coincidence. But overall, all three movies had good consultants. I had no problem with anything they showed relating to bonsai in any of the movies, including the fact that Mr. Miyagi in the first movie corrects Daniel when he says bonsai. Bonsai is B-A-N-Z-A-I. It means may you live 1,000 years, and it's what Japanese warriors would yell to one another when they were going into a suicide mission. And bonsai, B-O-N-S-A-I, means tree in a tray. Almost everybody says bonsai, but that doesn't make it right.
How did the Karate Kid movies and now the show Cobra Kai affect the business of selling bonsai trees?
I moved from my first store to my second store in 1983. So I had, between the time that I relocated to right across the street from here, and the time the movie came out, there was plenty of time to see how business was going. When the movie came out, within a week or two of the movie being released, business went crazy. There's been a bump since Cobra Kai came out, and I've had a number of people mention the movie. It wasn't as big an increase as with the original Karate Kid movies. As each one of them came out, business would noticeably increase.
Please tell me something about bonsai trees which nobody knows simply from watching Karate Kid movies.
They are as different from houseplants as parakeets are from goldfish. If you try and treat them like a houseplant, they will die. Many of the trees, if a tree is native to a cold climate and you try and keep it indoors, it's not going to last very long. Trees that grow in a cold climate require cold in the winter, not just that they could tolerate it, they require it. And if they're warm year-round, they'll die. The best example of that is the trees that grow in Miami are totally different than the trees that grow in New York. Trees from here won't grow in Miami, trees from Miami won't grow here, in the ground. We're talking about outdoors in the ground for both locations. Also watering. If you try and water a bonsai like a house plant, you're going to have a dead bonsai in very short order. At the very least, my trees get watered every other day. Right now, at this time of the year, you could see there's a lot of stuff out here. They get watered every single day where it doesn't rain. When it's really hot, we're talking about 85 or 90 degrees, I water them in the morning, and then I water them again at around 8 o'clock after the sun is pretty much off them. And, you know, that's about it. Other than that, trees are very strong. Trees don't die in nature for the most part. You could ask yourself, when was the last time you went out in a wooded area and saw a dead tree? They may die from insects or disease, rain, more commonly is severe storms. But other than that, you almost never see a dead tree. They live for hundreds and in some cases thousands of years, and trees are just extremely strong. This tree I've had since 1985. When I got it, it was around 70 years old. So it's now over 100 years old.
Please tell me about how you first learned to take care of bonsai trees.
In the early 70s, I did some volunteer work at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden in the bonsai department. And I was fortunate to study under Frank Okamura, who he's passed away many, many years ago. But he was probably the top bonsai authority in the country, so I was very lucky there. And in '76, I quit my job and started the business, and haven't looked back since. It's an incredible hobby. It's just a joy. I'm 78 now. I do this 7 days a week. For the last almost 2 decades, it's had nothing to do with money. I just loved the hobby. And I consider myself a hobbyist first and a merchant second.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, it's really easy. Bonsaiofbrooklyn.com. All of the trees that you see behind you are on the website. I don't put up generic photographs. I put up the actual trees. When you order one, you receive the tree and the picture you see. I just want to mention that the address that you see is the nursery here. I see people 7 days a week, 10:30 to 3, but it's by appointment, which is less formal than it sounds. I ask people to call before they come so that they'll be sure that I'm here when they do come. But I am available 7 days, 10:30 to 3. Everything on the website is here and available for pickup, or it can be shipped anywhere in the country.
Okay, Paul, I thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with me. I really learned a lot and enjoyed it. And for all Karate Kid and Cobra Kai fans watching, I have some additional trivia to share with you. After shooting this interview, I took about a 10-minute walk to have some pizza at L&B Spumoni Gardens, which is a very popular pizzeria in Brooklyn, and very good too. They also include an ice cream parlor as well as a restaurant. Anyway, I was told that actor Jesse Kove was seen eating here a few weeks earlier. Jesse Kove is the son of actor Martin Kove, who of course played Sensei John Kreese in all the Karate Kid movies, as well as on Cobra Kai. And Jesse Kove actually appeared on Cobra Kai as the varsity captain who, as Iron You trivia, had a fight with young Kreese outside the diner. I say, if Jesse Kove is an actor who wanted to be involved with Cobra Kai, then I personally wonder why he wasn't considered for the role of young Kreese. However, I thought the actor they did get to play young Kreese, Barrett Carnahan, was excellent. Okay, so I hope all you viewers enjoyed all the information from Paul about bonsai trees and the little trivia about Jesse Kove eating pizza at L&B Spumoni Gardens. Please leave your comments below, please hit like, and please hit subscribe. Thank you.